Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kimball's Corner, where today I'm going to be coloring a page out of Pop Manga Mermaids and Other Sea Creatures, a coloring book by Camilla Derico. Derico? I don't know, nobody ever corrected me, so I say what I want. I'm going to be doing colored pencils, and hopefully this won't take as long as when I did it in the live, but I had such a good time. It was a lot of fun coloring somebody else's work, a little weird because I felt like pressure to make it look good because it's, you know, I want to do their artwork justice, and she's a great artist. I am going to color this face because I thought it was pretty. I mean, there's a lot of really pretty artwork in this book, but I'm feeling like peaches, pinks, purples, maybe some neons. I'm not sure if those are like fuzzy ears or what, but we'll get to that when we get there. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do there. So yeah, let's pick out some colors. Ooh, so many good fun colors to choose from. I'm gonna go light to medium skin tones just because that's easier for me, but also I wanna add some like purpley, like pale purpley colors. So set those aside. What color to do? I should probably look at the picture while I'm picking out colors. So if I do like skin tones, and if I did like the peaches, her hair could be really pretty in the teal family. And then I could do like neon tentacles, like the arms can be like pinks, purples, somethings. But these actual like little sucker cups could be like in the neon. Maybe I'll just do neon pink and yellow. So pull those out. Will I forget? Very likely, but we'll see. Let's do some darker pinks for like the lippy area. How dark a pink do I want to go? Make her face very pinks. Let's do all the shading with purples and like lots of pinks, lots of peaches. She seems sad, a little flustered maybe. Maybe I'll give her some bright, vibrant blue eyes or some deep set blue eyes. Let's do deep blue with a medium blue. Let's pull out a white for highlighty stuff. Those ear thingies, I don't know. Do I want to make all of her hair teal, or should I like teal here and then a different color there? What goes good? Like I could do a green, like I can make it go greenish yellow maybe. Let's do a blue green, or should I just go straight into the yellows? These are the questions one must ask themselves when coloring. What are you? Apple green, sounds delish, with a touch of spring green and chartreuse. So I could bring these in. So if I fade from like these cool teals to like these warm greens, could work. Might look like a disaster. We'll find out, only time will tell. And I really need a scrap piece of paper, is what I need. Looking around my art room. This'll work. To-do list. So I want to see my colors and see if they're going to blend nicely together. So let's give them a test. I'm going to get a real piece of paper. One moment, please. All right. So the to-do list, I mean, it was fine. It just wasn't quite accurate. But I want to see, because this purple does look a bit blue, but I want to see how well I can blend all these colors together. And I'm basically just starting with my darkest, and I work my way up. And I kind of just layer over, and I drag the color out a little bit further each time. This one's really pink. And then this color is kind of dull, so it's gonna dull it down just a touch. I don't know if I want to put that last color on there or not. Yeah, I think I'd rather have it just fade out to white. So, goodbye, grade lavender. I don't even know where you go. So I've got my purples. Lovely. The blues I know work. The greens, let's test out the greens, because they're very close. I might need a darker green. Like these colors are really close. So I need a darker green just to really help with the contrast. Let's try Prussian. Is that too blue? Or does it work? I'm not sure. I think it could work. It looks like it's close enough in the same family. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I can keep that greenish color. Helps blend it out into the chartreuse. Okay, so we've got our greens. Aquas work. Pinks and purples, I'm sure I can get those to work for like the shading with the peaches and the face. I think we might be ready. Just a touch darker on the skin tone. I need a peachy, I feel like my browns are all gonna be a little too like orangey. Maybe that'll work. That could work, all right. Welcome to the club, burnt ochre. And then pinks aside, I think I'm ready to go. Obviously I have a whole book of colors if I need more. Let's get to coloring. I'm gonna keep my scrap thing over here. I mean, honestly, who drinks 2 giant cups of coffee right before they gotta film a video? This guy. Do a little sharpening. Now, if I was a, you know, a more patient artist, I would do a color thumbnail. I'm not though. I'm just picturing it in my head. That's enough. Also, I have Camilla's other book, which I'm gonna put under here just to help level it out so it's not like bubbling up so much. Oy. And yeah, we're gonna lay down some colors incredibly lightly, just so I know, or like so I don't forget what I'm doing. So I'll lay in a peach color just lightly. It'll help with the color story, and hopefully it'll help me remember what the heck it is I'm coloring. Because sometimes, you know, you start coloring, you get carried away, and you start coloring things the wrong color. So I just do a light wash of the pencil of like the colors that I want in the areas. I do want to add a little pink to her cheeks. Just so I can remember to lay it on a little bit thicker later. And if I forget, hey, at least there is some pink there. I want it to be quite flushed looking. It's also, I'm using it as a shading. The purples and pinks will be used for lots of the shading colors. Give her nose a nice pink hue. And she'll probably have pink lips. So, just little reminders. Her eyes, I was gonna do blue, let's not forget. I should pull out like a little warm gray if I want to shade any of the white areas. I prefer warmer colors for shading. You could also use blue in the whites of the eyes. Apparently blue makes whites look more white. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard it, so somebody out there believes it. What color was her hair? Teal? Oh my gosh, I'm already forgetting what the heck I'm doing. Oh yeah, it was gonna be teal to green. So teal here to green over here. And it might just be like a nice subtle color shift, as opposed to coloring the hair to like blend it over to one side. It might just be like, maybe she has all aqua colored hair, but there's like a yellowy light over here, so it's making it turn a little green. I haven't decided yet. Also, it might be just an accidental thing that happens because I'm not that skilled. I tend to, like, yes, I try to think of my light sources and whatnot when I'm coloring, but in the end, I kind of just color what I think is gonna look good as opposed to what looks right, if that makes sense. Because I really don't care about accuracy. This is not a realistic portrait or picture or anything. And even when it comes to that, if there's like a shadow that looks wonky, like a hard shadow under the nose or something, I might just not do it. Or change it up a little bit, just so it might look a little more aesthetically pleasing. I am leaving some subtle highlights, like I'm not coloring some spots. I don't even know if the camera's picking it up, but I left it white here and white there, just, you know, for absolute highlights. And then this is gonna like fade off into the green color. And so we'll just slightly blend these together. Bring the green in just a little bit. I don't really know where the highlights are over here. Oh, probably on the edge of her hair, maybe. I don't know. It don't matter. And then it's gonna come down here and kind of blend into the tentacle. I might add a little green on this side. Ew, I have a hair in my mouth. All right, and then her tentacles. What color was I gonna do those? Did I even think this through? Who am I? Purples and pinks, right? Was that a thing? Or maybe I'll do the tentacles purple, and then, you know what, they're gonna go purple, they're gonna fade to pink at the end. So we'll bring this purple in here. Kinda wanna keep the sucker cuppy thingies clear, because I'm gonna do those in neons. And fade that purple out, and bring a pink into it. And then I'll also use the pinks and purples as shading. I don't know if that's hair or not, but I colored it the tentacle color. And then tentacly arm thingy up here. And I'm not coloring straight up and down. I am doing like really long ovals just to help with not being able to see the, you know, I don't want to see like the lines of the pencil too much. I mean, you can see them up in here, but that's fine. Those are very light and they will be covered up. But I always try and draw like a little bit of an oval, especially when I'm just laying down a big flat area. Not sure why I said area, like area. My Valley Girl coming out. Fade that out, and we'll add a little pink to the bottom. All right, is she, oh, she ain't ready. We gotta do this. Was I gonna do these peaches and pinkies? Maybe I should do peach like the same as her skin. I think originally I was gonna do like the pinks and purples, like her tentacles. Ooh, what do I do? I'm gonna go skin tones. Maybe I'll do like a darker version of the skin tones though. But I kind of want it to be like a white creamy color on the inside. So we're gonna go around the edges with more of that skin tone color. And it might fade a little bit. And then we'll have like the warm gray. It can be a little darker in here. What is this beautiful creature? Does she live in the water? Does she live on land? Both. And then there's no gray on the other side. It's all gonna be skin tone colors. All right, so basically we have a nice warm color for the skin and the ears, and then kind of the face is surrounded by cool colors. So that's pretty, right? Make it work. It's gonna work out, I promise. Probably. Okay, don't make promises I can't keep. Let's do the shading on the face. I will start with the pinky purple. And basically we're gonna shade where all this hair is hanging down. And then I want to shade in the eye socket. And I'm going light right now. I'm going to build up these colors a little bit. I'm going to give her an eyelid. Well, kind of an eyelid. Have this kind of fade down. The facial structures on little anime characters is always a little different. That's also another thing when coloring somebody else's art style. It's a little different. You may not know exactly what you're doing or what they intended, but as long as we have fun, we don't mind. And then we'll do a little shading under the nose. Kind of give her a nostril. And this is where you get to incorporate your own style into their style, because there was no nostril. I added a nostril because I always draw nostrils. It's a thing. So now I'm going to take my next dark purple. This is more of a purple rather than the pinky purple. We'll bring this down a little bit more. Build on that color. Try to keep the planes of the face, like the chin is a little ball, and then on top of the lip, there's like where the milk mustache could be. And then we're going to go really softly on the underside of the cheek. All right. And I'm gonna take my darkest purple. I'm gonna get a little dimple. Kind of change. She looked a little sad. That dimple gives her a little bit of a smile almost. And I'm using purples to shade her lips, all of her skin, everything to do with her face. And then I'll change up those colors when I add the skin tones. Because I'll paint or I'll draw over this purple color with the peaches and browns and stuff. And will it turn out? I don't know. It's been a long time since I have done this. But I think we're gonna be okay. All right. Let me let me build up a little bit of the pink color in her lips. Just to give them a little more shape. And a little bit more pink on the nose. Again, I am also using the pink as a shading pencil, shading color, whatever you want to say. And more pink in the cheek. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's pull out the skin tones. And I will start with the brownish, darkest color. And we're gonna go lightly over this, because it might look a little red with the pink that I added. I just want to keep this color closest to the hairline where it's darkest. Back here where it's quite dark. Just a touch in here, just because this isn't like a harsh shadow really. Same under here. And that might be it. Oh, maybe just a little in the eye socket. A little darker in here. All right, that might be it for the dark skin tone. I'm just gonna put that way aside because I really don't need it. Oh, I do need it again for the ears, but when I am done with the color, I try to set it off to the side so I don't mistakenly grab it later. So now this is Nectar, and I'm gonna use this color to just darken up, and we're gonna start like pulling out the color. Like I'm gonna start doing my darkest colors and blending out to the lightest colors, like how I showed you doing my color samples earlier. It's buried under here, but kind of how I did this, I'm gonna start with the darkest and like build my way out. And right now, Nectar is my darkest color. So I just come in here and I'll fill in any of the white spots, press and blend all these colors together. And you might lose that purple tint, you might lose some of the pink. It's okay, you can add it back in. You can do some fun stuff with mixed media. You got options. Working in little circles down here. Making sure everything is in frame on the camera, because, you know, no fun. Sorry that I work with my book on an angle. It's just a little easier for some reason. Very lightly building up this color. Building up the nostril. A little shadow under the bridge of the nose, or under the, I guess that's the bridge of the nose. A little shadow under here anyway. Keeping it very light on the top part of the lip. And we'll move on to the next lightest color. And we'll just kind of press hard and we'll drag it out. And this color is quite a bit peachier. I guess that makes sense, it is called peach. Something over here is making a noise while I color. It's very distracting. Oh, I think I got it. I think it was my coaster. This can be darkened up just a tiny bit more. This can all be burnished in. Burnish is when you just press hard with the pencil and kind of mushes and melts and blends the colors together, which I usually burnish like the last maybe 2 colors that I use, like the lightest version of the peaches and usually a white to get to the white areas. Or I'll use a white to burnish like the white areas, obviously, to help blend the colors into the white so I don't have like that penciled texture. It helps to get rid of that. Alrighty, let's take the lightest peach now, and this is where I'll start burnishing. And I'll take this color, pressing pretty hard. I mean, not so hard that I'm gonna break the pencil, but hard enough that it's gonna burnish these colors together. And I do want to not go over the white areas, because I'll take a white colored pencil for that. But I can use this one to pretty much blend and smudge everything together. All right, using the white, and I'm just gonna I'll start the white in the white areas, in like the lightest area, and I'll just burnish outwards from there. Also, make sure that your white is clean before you start, because you don't want to start in your whitest area and put a big glob of dark blue. That has happened before. Thank God for white paint pens. I can't for the life of me find out what is making a noise. So I apologize if you can hear it, but it's a clanking noise. It's driving me nuts. Hopefully you can't hear it. I figured it out. I had a lamp on the floor and it was sitting next to my desk. Hopefully it'll shut up now. Gonna get a darker pink and give her lips a little more definition. Add a little shading in there. Just a little fun, interesting something happening with the lips. And then I will take another pink color and soften up a lot of those lines that I just added. And take the white, make sure it's clean, and just go over those highlights. All right, I think the skin might be done. I could go back in with like a purple if I wanted to add a little more purpliness to it, but this the purple and the skin tone are complements, so it'll kind of dull out and just desaturate, which is okay. That's fine. We're gonna leave it like that. You could also just use like different versions, like you can go to a dark brown to a really pale peach, or if you want to do darker skin tones, go really dark brown to like a medium brown, and that'll make like a nice dark rich skin tone. You don't have to use purples and blues and all that stuff. I just do it because I think it's pretty. I like to add the variations in the skin tone. Up to you, personal preference. Let's color her eye, and then we'll just be like, yay, we're done with her face. Done with that. Let's see, indigo blue. Keep her eyes simple. I just pulled out an indigo blue, and I'm gonna shade it the darkest at the top, and kind of bring it down, and I'm gonna shade darkest at this highlight, kind of bring that down. And then this is true blue. It's a creamier blue. And what I like about it is when I go over it with white, it makes it nice and smooth and pretty. I think that's good, right? Darken up the pupil area with the dark blue. Kind of go over it. The black ink isn't quite black, so the blue is actually looking darker than her lashes. So just add it in everywhere, why not? All right, done with that. Blues can be set aside. I'm not using those anymore. I probably won't be using the lightest peach anymore, but these other peachy colors I will be using on her ear. The purples and pinks. Let's do the tentacles. And we'll start with the darkest purple. And we'll start up here. Not really sure where the hair and tentacle ends and begins, but make it up as we go. Now this is a little bit different. I might just do like a gradation from purple to pink and then come back over with like my white paint pen and add some highlights and stuff, because I'm a lazy artist and that's easier to do. So we're gonna say that's purple too, just that little bit. Here, and then like it can kind of fade out down here. So that might be it for that purple, and then we'll take the next darkest. Oh, I have this purple, which I could have started with. So I'll just bring that in and just go over the other purple that I just laid down. That's me paying attention to my life. So now I can put the darkest purple aside. Go back over with this one and just bring it down a little bit further. And then we'll switch to this purple And I'm glad there's like a pinky purple. That'll be a nice transition into the actual pinks. This, I feel, might be a little... that's probably hair. Yeah, whatever. Such is life. All right. And, whoo, trying to decide where I want to lay down this color. Bring it into here. Bring it down. And I know I said I was done with those dark colors, but I forgot that there's a tentacle here. So I'll lay down this darkest color first, and I'm just kind of putting like almost a little border that I'm gonna work off of, just so I don't have to worry so much about going out of the lines. And start doing my little ovals. Once I've worked away from that edge, I can soften it up and do bigger ovals. And now I can go over with this other purple. Kind of fill in some of those white spots, drag the color out a bit. And if you wanted to add like textures and spots and whatnot, you could like, instead of doing such a nice gradation, you could kind of press hard here, and it'll kind of give it like a muddled look if that's something you're going for. I'm not, I'm going for a smooth transition. So I won't be doing that muddled look. But I will be going to the next purple and just bringing that color down a little bit further. And let's head into this pinky purple, also known as lavender. And I don't have much else after this color. It's just a pink, so I might drag this color a bit far. Unless I take the pink into white, which I don't really plan on doing. All right, now I have a couple different pinks. I have a cool pink, which probably works better than this warm pink, which I used in the skin. So I'm gonna put that warm pink aside and we'll just use the cool pink after I sharpen it. Just a little bit, don't need a super fine point. I'm debating if I wanna take white down here at the bottom. So I'll keep this somewhat light and then I'll just make it darker and darker as I go. And then I can bring in the white. There's a little blue on it. Get off. And I can go over the end just to pastelize it just a little bit. And then I can also take it over the top, kind of show where my highlights are going to be with the paint pen later. Very mild. Very subtle, not mild, subtle. Go over this with white, so I don't need to press too hard. And it's easier to work backwards with the light, because I can press hard right now and just kind of keep working it into that purpley pink lavender color. And then we'll take the white and we'll just kind of go over the end. And honestly, I don't need to do like what I did here. That's not helping the cause. But I do want to bring this up just a touch further. And continue on. I feel like this should be dark. And I think that's it for those. As I said, like, 5 minutes ago, I keep saying, oh, I'm done with that. And then I keep pulling pencils back out, but that's why we don't put them away just yet. All right, I think the tentacles, oh my God, there's tentacles right there, y'all. Nobody told me. Nobody told me. There they are the whole time. I'm not gonna go with the darkest color on these, but I will just do a quick fade out to the pink. I'm gonna skip the next lightest. I'm gonna skip this color and just go with this pinky purple, the lavender, because it's such a small little area that I don't need to do a long gradation. I can just cheat it and then go in with the pink. It's almost hair, it's almost tentacle, it's a little of both. But I do need to bring a light. I'm going with this purple. It was just a little too much pink for such a small little area. Let's get her ears colored so that we can focus on the hair and the tentacles. So with this, I'm just gonna kind of block in some shading pretty loosely and pretty scribbly because it's fur, so you know, fur is a little scribbly looking. Take the next color. We're just, again, kind of scribbling. Nothing too crazy, nothing too precise. And I'm probably gonna bring in a darker brown because this one is not dark enough and I want it to be darker. Yeah, it could work. Might be too dark. I might have regrets. Am I regretting it already as I look for another color? Whatever. We're gonna just take it in and we're gonna add some furry bits. Because when I laid all these colors down, they went down and it kind of just looked solid, so it needed a little more interest. I'm following the same direction as the lines that she's provided, but I'm also just kind of scribbling and being a little haphazard with it. And then in the end, I can go back in with the darkest and just add some little furry bits. I feel like it should be dark right over her head. And then we'll move on to this side. This is all quite dark in here. I mean, she's provided all the lines, so I'm gonna keep that pretty dark. And we're gonna have it kind of fade out. Same with down here, but I'm gonna bring it in a little more than she's drawn. And we'll take the next darkest color. We'll just kind of fill in those lines. And then this is gonna be a pretty quick fade out to a gray for like the white grayish fur inside of the ear. If it's fur, I don't really know. But we want to keep this outer edge kind of like a furry color. Again, just scribbling in. Fur goes all different directions. I mean, it has one main direction, obviously, but maybe it's a little tousled. And I may have to pull out a couple of gray colors. Bring this peachy color into it a little bit, just so we know it's all part of the same ear. And I'm gonna grab, right now I have a 30% gray, a 30% French gray. I don't wanna go too dark, so I'm gonna grab a 50 and then a 10. And I don't know if I'll actually bring white into it, I might, but I'll bring the darkest gray down here. Again, making a little border so I can not worry so much about going out of the lines into her hair. Like I made a little border right here so I wouldn't color into her hair. And then I'm just bringing this gray out, putting the darker lines where she's already provided those lines. So she's already given an idea of how to color it. Or just texture, I mean, you could do whatever you want. But I'm saying, in my mind, she wanted it that way. All right, created just a bit of a fuzzy, furry, weird texture. And I'll take this gray and just kind of fill in these down here since it's a little bit darker down there. And just kind of scribbling outward, kind of like a sunburst. And then I'll try and tie in all these lines at the end. Will it work out? I don't know. So this is the color I'm gonna use to burnish for the most part, instead of a white. I mean, it's very pale anyway. All right, now I'm gonna go back to my dark color and add some refining, fuzzy, furry lines. And you can also, I'm probably gonna come back in here with the white paint pen too for some little highlighted details. Trying to do this without turning the book. Really giving my hand a workout. Twisting my wrist. I don't know why, but I'm getting raccoon vibes now. Maybe it's that warm gray color. Just going back over and softening some of the darker harsh lines that I added. Kind of wanting to gray out some of that furry, orangey color. And that's probably done. You know what? Now I'm gonna go one shade darker. Or two, I don't know. I'm getting a darker one. French Gray 90. I just feel like it could use some more depth. So I'm not doing a whole lot with this one in the sense of coloring over. I want to just fill in some shadow areas. I was just feeling it wasn't enough contrast. And maybe a little bit in here. Sorry if you can hear Rocky's meeting downstairs. I can hear some muddled voices happening, but we don't mind. We love it when we hear Rocky. Again, just softening some of those lines. Why am I spending so much time on this? We're done with that. Let's just be done with that. Oh my gosh. Going overboard for no reason. Let's do her hair, which is a lot of color. So we'll start with this darkest color, and we're just gonna start back here and fill this in because there's not much light that's gonna be hitting back here. In my drawing anyway. I mean, you can change the lighting however you want for your drawing. And I'm gonna have just like the slightest bit of a highlight, ever so slightly. Go to the next color up in my teals. And we're just gonna color it in solid. It's not really gonna look like a highlight, but it's there. All right, we got that done. So I did do the green down here, so I'm gonna start with my darkest green. I'm just gonna color this hair strand in, just because it's there and I don't want to forget about it. This green is gonna go up into the teal. So I'm gonna have to concentrate and I may not talk very much. I'm sure some of you are happy about that. But I'm gonna lightly do this green up here and I will go over it with the teal. Just gonna skip to the brightest. Take this color up and fade it out, and then I will bring the teal color down into it. So I will do the greens on this side, and I think I'll have the light, maybe I don't know. It looks like it would be darker in here. So I will take my darkest green. Again, I'm just going with the lines that she provided to help guide me in my coloring. And if there's more lines, usually it means it's a little bit darker. I feel like this is underneath, like I feel like the curl is going to come out. Hit a bump right here. And then I'll be dark on this side. And then lighter on that side. So I'm doing dark on the bottom part of the hair. Like here I'm doing it dark and then the light will be on the top part. We'll see how that goes. This, I need to have it curve around. Alright, this will be dark up here as well. Just following along with what I did here. And then I'm kind of just getting lighter like I'm putting less and less pressure the closer I work to that teal, so that I can blend the teal and the greens together a little easier. That's gonna happen right in here. This is kind of the teal green zone. So I think I might be done with this dark green for a second. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. One less color to hold. And we'll take the next green color and we'll just keep working our way out. Work our way out of that dark. All right, setting that green aside. I don't know if I really need this one. Maybe I'll use it on the spots where I have like a lot more white space. Just so it's not glowing when I lay down that chartreuse. And I mean, you can be pretty loose with these, with the lighter colors. Like they're not gonna hurt the dark colors unless you press really hard. Ooh, let's get this. Just pretend like it's a strand of hair. I'm supposed to do that. All right, and now we're gonna bring in that chartreuse, which is our final green color. So we're gonna work that into getting to that white highlight, which I'll use the white colored pencil for. And again, you can be pretty free with these lighter colors. Like you can see I'm just kind of scribbling over, still, you know, paying attention to what I'm doing and not going too nuts with it, but I don't have to be as careful with like following the lines that she's provided, because that's one thing is you want to color in the direction of the hair, especially when you're doing the darker colors. But with the light, paler colors, not such a big deal. Set that aside. I think there's pink on that, cleaning the white tip. All right, and then I'm just going to take this in the highlighted areas and just kind of burnish it out. And again, if you're good with a white paint pen, you can come back in and add some little streaks and highlights. Now, one thing that I personally like to do is come back in with my darkest color, because it does get lost with all that layering. And I can just add in a little extra depth here and there. You don't have to, I mean, it's good enough without it. But hey, if we got the time, why not? All right, now I'm gonna grab just like the mid-tone green, just kind of carry it through here just a little bit. Just want to bring it out a little bit further. And then we'll do the rest in teal. And I'm gonna start with, this is such a dark teal, it's so pretty though. But I will just press lightly because I don't want to lose it. Like I don't want all this hair to like blend together. So I'm leaving this white line in between, and that will help separate it from that dark area. And also I'm not going as dark as I can with this color, because I don't want it to be too dark everywhere. Make little highlights on these little bangs here. You see like the highlight cutting through them now. Just because when your hair's cut that short, you're gonna have a little harsh highlight. Not a harsh, but like a little abrupt highlight, I'll say. And then a highlight on the curves here. And then there's like a highlight, like an overall highlight in the middle of her hair, which I will get to in a minute. I wanna just bring that teal down, join that party. This piece is pushed behind these other pieces, so I'm just gonna color it dark. Gonna bring all that up, make it a little, or make it as harmonious as I can. And we'll start working on this huge highlight that I want to like kind of circle her head with. Might have to turn the page just a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. So I'm imagining all of these lines coming up here. So when I create the highlight, it kind of goes in the same direction, but these little bangs are a touch different. I can color the edge though over here. This can all be colored in up here. I feel like this wants to come up like that. You know what? I'm doing it. And then like these little bangs can be cut out there. So it's like the hair is long, parted right there. I'm not entirely sure. I basically just made it make sense in my head. I can do this a little bit darker up in here. Because I was struggling to make this highlight make sense with the lines that I was provided. So I did my own thing. Was it the right thing? Doesn't matter. This coloring book is mine now. I do what I want. All right, we're gonna move up to the next shade of turquoise. I think this is actually turquoise. Aquamarine, whatever. And we can take a nice layer over that. Again, I'm not pressing as hard as I could because I don't want it to be, I'm gonna put this down so I'm not flipping off the camera. I don't want it to be incredibly dark. I wanted it to be a little more pastel, but it's already a bit dark, so we're gonna work with what we got. Color all of this in. Can be a little bit, press a little bit harder up here. Do my little ovals, and then we'll work on the shape. Work into those highlighted areas. And then in here, we'll just continue where that shadow was that I made up. And we have harsh little highlights, so we just kind of scribble. Not too much work in there. Don't need to over-render anything. Not trying to impress anybody. Grab the last color. Ooh, it needs a sharpen. We made it a little less dull. And I'm gonna bring this color into the green a bit more. Yeah, it's blended enough. I don't know what's happening here. I'm just gonna color it all in dark. And then this color we can be a little bit heavy-handed with. I mean, don't press as hard as you possibly can. You still want to be able to play with the white colored pencil. Blend that in, just adding the color into these greens just to incorporate it a little bit. And up here you can be pretty heavy-handed, just kind of fill it all in, burnish those colors together, smush, 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 swirl, swirl, and then we'll take the direction of the hair and we'll sweep it down. Now, I'm debating if I want to try to find the lightest teal possible or just going with the white. I think I'm just going to go in with the white. We'll see how this turns out. Basically just starting in the light areas and blending out into the darker area. All right, that was easy enough. I'm gonna come back in with the mid-tone and just kind of drag in some of these. Well, maybe is that too dark? Maybe I'll bring in the lightest. The light aqua. And just kind of drag in and refine some of these lines. It's not doing quite as much. So I'm gonna bring them both and we're gonna work it. Let's refine this little part in her hair. Bring in this one. I'm a little scared to use it, but I want to add a little more depth to her hair. All right, nothing too fancy. I was gonna bring it up in the top, but then I have to blend it out and it's just a whole thing that I don't wanna deal with. So let's bring in the neons. I'm not entirely sure how I wanna do this. Originally I was just thinking neon blobs or something, but like how am I gonna shade these? Maybe I'll just shade them out to white. All right, so the pinkier blobs will be these ones. Kind of blend it into the tentacle itself. So where it's really purpley, we're gonna do these, and then I'm gonna slowly fade it into a green, like the super vibrant neon yellowy green, whatever color it is. Kind of just bring this pink down a little bit further, and maybe like here we'll make this neon, and then that'll turn green, and then up here we definitely have some neon. And oh, that needs to be a colored hair strand. We're just gonna pick a mid-tone green, and we're just gonna color it in. Not every piece of hair has to have a highlight. I've decided. And also, I feel like that should be a dark purple. Like back in here. Now that I'm taking a closer look at everything. Let's take the brightest chartreusey yellow. Wait, that's my neon yellow. Whoa, calm down, Kimball. I mean, they're quite close. I just want these little fine hair strands to stand out a little bit more without going through the work of, you know, creating highlights. Adding just a little yellow into that, because why not? And by yellow, I mean chartreuse. Chartreuse. All right, back to my neon pink, which looks gorgeous mixed with this purple color. I wonder how that's showing up on camera. Hopefully it looks okay. Usually neons don't pick up very well on camera. And then we'll start the process of fading it into a green. Or the, what is this? It is neon yellow, okay. Which is so bright, so vivid. And I mean, again, it's such a light color that I can just kind of scribbly it all the way up. Don't need to be as precious or careful with it as I was with the pink. I feel like that should be a bit pink in here. Like more tentacle rather than suction cup thingy. And they do make a nice neon orange when you mix them, but I mean, I have a neon orange, so why bother? Kind of want to just bring that neon yellow up into that pink a bit. Adds a little extra oomph. And I'm kind of tempted to give her like neon freckles or something, but do I want to attempt to ruin my picture? Like if I did pink freckles, would that be too much? Possibly. I can do white freckles though. So let's grab the white paint pen, and I'm gonna break that black line right there. I'm gonna create a little water line. Do a little extra highlight on the lippy. A little highlighting on the nose. Highlight on the cheek, and then some freckles. Because freckles are cute. A little highlight back there. Just highlights everywhere, really. I don't know if I want to do highlights in her hair as much, but I kind of want to add just a little hint of them here. I want to put, I'm going to turn it because I don't want to put my hand on the wet freckles. I don't want to bust my wrist trying to add some highlights over here. Just a couple of simple ones. And then I can add some highlight along this tentacle. Break the line a little bit. Oh, ooh, need to color that. Always catch these little tiny details later on. And then we can do a little highlight coming out of here. Because why not? Add a couple in here. I think she's cute. You guys, this might be it. And I'm not gonna color the background. No, no, no. We don't have time for that. Well, I think that's it. She turned out pretty cute. No, wait. Gonna add a little highlight above the eye. Oh, I kind of want to do like weird lines in the hair with it, but I'm not gonna. It might be too much. Do a little highlight on the brow bone. Okay, for reals this time. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed my little colored pencil piece in the Camilla Derrico coloring book. Which one was this one? I know it's mermaids, but it's Pop Manga Mermaids and Other Sea Creatures, a coloring book by Camilla Derrico. I had a great time. I really enjoyed coloring her work. I might have to look into getting some other coloring books in the future. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Please like and subscribe if you liked it. Share if you like. It helps me out. And I will see you guys later. Bye.